Welcome back to part 4 of Intro to CAD Design. This series, I am going through Matrix Gold, specifically Matrix 3.4. And my intention on doing this series is to help people that perhaps just purchased Matrix Gold, they haven't had any instruction yet, and it's just a really good idea to go through the program and see what every icon means. And it's easy to get lost in all of the buttons because there are so many, and this program is very powerful in what it can do. Today, I am going to go over how to open, how to save, and specifically, I am going to talk you through that because for some reason the drop-down menus don't show up on my recording screen. But I will specifically use all my words so that you understand. And the best way to get familiar with the program is open up your laptop, get your PC, and open up the program and actually go through what I am doing, even though it's very basic, I understand, and it might seem a little boring, but if you do this, I promise you will get to know the program and you will be able to do a lot more with it if you learn it from the bottom up. Okay, I'm going to share with you how to open up something that you have saved, and I'm going to also show you how to save it. Now, for the sake of this video, I am going to be focusing on this area called projects, and I will go over how to actually save using the M, which is clicking for the main menu. But right now in the beginning, I want to kind of focus on that. And one of the things that Matrix Gold did that I absolutely love is they allow you to do a full save inside the program, and it goes directly to your desktop. So if I wanted to save this, let's go over here to the perspective view because I think I've saved it here, and it's going to show up a little differently. Let's turn it so you can see that it's a new full save. Now you can do a full save in more than one within the job bag. And I have labeled this job bag testing, so I am going to actually show you how to do that. Let's go ahead and click on the create project plus sign. It asks me what is the name of your project, and you may not be able to see this, so I am going to do part 4 intro to CAD design. All right. So now I click OK, and what has happened is the project bag is brand new. It says the name up here, and if I click on the little arrow that goes down, it will show me all of the project bags. If I click on the project manager, it will open up a whole new window, which I don't think you're going to be able to see. But like I said, if you have your program open, you will be able to see what I'm seeing. And then you can actually search for the project name, or you can look at the collections. So that is what I would recommend doing if you have a lot of job bags. Naming them, very specific names, is really important. So I am going to go ahead and click in my viewport, surround my objects, and do a full save. So I will click on the full save, and you will see a window pop up that says you've saved it, and then you will see the image right here on the left hand side. Now, if I want to save, let's say I'm going to be doing something with a couple of these objects, these two. Let's go ahead and turn those on a different layer. We went over that in part 3, so if you haven't seen part 3, I'm going to put a link down below to the series. So let's go ahead and save both of these. So, whoops, I moved it. So I can select by just clicking on both. I can also select by clicking in the viewport to the left of the objects and surrounding the objects without surrounding anything else. Or I can click on the viewport on the right side and just barely select it, and it will take both of those. So I'm going to click on the job bag. You will see the bar, but then you go below that and a little window will pop up that says Save to Job Bag. You want to click on that and you want to visually confirm that there is something new in your job bag. So let's say that I want to save my gems. So I click on my gems. If you have two items, like here I have a curve, right? A window will pop up and it'll ask you which item you want to select. Be sure and pay attention to that window, because if you don't click on one of the items, nothing's going to happen. Okay, so I've selected my gems and I'm going to go down to my next job bag. And there you can see that the gems are saved. Let's say I want to save this rectangle and I accidentally click on the second job bag. My gemstones are no longer there. So be careful and click on the bottommost job bag that is empty when you want to save something new. Okay, so that's what these job bags are for on the right hand side. Well, why would you want those? Well, like I said before, if you were going to do something with these two items and you weren't sure how it was going to turn out, it's just kind of a little safety precaution that you have extras hidden in the job bag in case you need them and you want to, if whatever command you're doing doesn't work out the way you intended, and it doesn't create another solid or another object. Sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I would have saved that separately so that I could import it again and just try a different command. And so it's kind of old school Matrix, and that's what we used to do before Matrix Gold came along. So a lot of the things that I'm going to be teaching you in this series is going to be more old school Matrix based on the Rhino, not on parametrics. Yes, there is parametrics in Matrix Gold, which allows you to make a lot of changes very quickly, and there is a beauty to that. But also, I feel like it's very good to learn how to do things kind of from scratch. It's sort of like, instead of ordering the food service that you can just pop it in the oven, now you're actually learning how to make something from scratch. And both skills are very important. So I wanted to show everybody those particular skill sets so that if you have a problem with some of the parametrics and it's not doing what you want it to do, you know how to solve that problem. Because remember, troubleshooting is the biggest stumble in learning this program. Anyone can learn it. Anyone can learn it. And you know, some people are going to take a little longer than others. It's okay because we have time. So once you've really gotten into the program a little bit, you'll find that the troubleshooting is the problem. And you're like, I don't know what to do. And that's what I am trying to teach everybody, is what to do. If the parametric isn't giving you what you want, you will be able to go ahead and recreate a halo or recreate a profile and do it exactly how you want it. All right, let's keep going. Job bags. So far, I've got just 3 of them filled. And so let's go ahead and open up a new viewport. If to do that, you want to go up to the M in the left-hand corner and you want to click for your main menu. There is, in the box that pops up on the right, there is a new and an open. We are going to select new. And then it's going to ask you for unsaved changes. Would you like to save your changes? It will tell you where you're going to be saving those changes to. And it actually looks like it's on the full save. But once again, old school matrix. If you are not paying attention to what it says on there and you're doing it really quickly, which I understand on a daily basis, when you're working, you are going to do things very quickly. I always say no because I've already saved it exactly where I want it to go. That is something that you can decide for yourself if that's what you want to do, but that's how I've always worked. And the first time you save over something unintentionally and you lose your file that you worked on for 4 hours, that's when you'll understand what I'm saying. Ask me how I know. Okay, so now we have a full save, one file, and then we have some individual saved job bags. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and import, or yes, I guess it's import is the technical term, perhaps open. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the middle of the full save box, and it will open up what I have saved in there. Now, one of the things that the full save does, the job bag doesn't, is it will save any layers that are turned off. I don't have any in particular in this folder, but if I did, they would still be there. I could just click on the little eyeball and see them. Now, if you were to click, let's go ahead and practice. We're going to hide this. We learned this in our last video, part 3. Go ahead and surround, click in your viewport, surround all of your items, and go ahead and click hide. Once again, if I say click, it's a left click. If I say right click, that's when I'm specific in that. Okay, so now I'm going to import my gems. And we're waiting. It has to go to space and back. Okay. All right, where do we leave off? I have imported the gems from the job bag, and I'm going to move those just randomly. Now, we really haven't gone into that. Let's put that back by using our quick command undo. All you have to do to move something is select it and drag it. Now, let's go back again. If you wanted to be specific, we're going to do a little review here. And if you wanted to move it, like let's say 10 millimeters, we go up here to our quick commands, we click move, we just click anywhere in there and we type in 10. You can go any which direction and you just have to click on it and it moved at 10 millimeters. So now I am going to go down to show. So remember we hid everything and I just imported the gems and then moved them. I'm going to go down here above your layers and I'm going to click on show. And now all of the things that we had hidden are coming up. They're all right here. And the additional gems that we imported, we move those over. They're right there. So if, for example, you do a design, but let's say you do a ring and you want to, like a chevron pattern or whatever, and you want to add 2 more, you can literally have that in the job bag, import it, move it. There's other ways, of course. We can go up to our quick commands and duplicate it. But sometimes you're busy and you've done a lot of things and there's so many ways to get to the same place in Matrix. There are so many ways to get there. So, all right, let's move on. So once again, let's do another full save. I'm going to surround everything. You click in your viewport and drag the rectangle over all of your objects, and you come up here to your full save. Now, if you were just using the full save as you go, you could click on the little tiny arrow, the down arrow, right inside of your full save. Or if you want a new full save, you go up to the little rectangle bar above the little square and you click on that, and it gives you a whole new full save. So depending on if you want to save over what you've done in the past or if you want a new one, that's how you make that decision. Okay, let's move on to our modes. So in the last video, we talked about the different layers, so I'm not going to go over that. And in fact, I am going to close out the layer window because I want the mode, display mode, to move up so that you will see what I'm actually doing. So in order to do that, I can click on X and I can move up my job bags. And so hopefully you will be able to see what I am working on. Now, let's just practice. I'm going to go up to the M, down, straight down to view, and then I'm going to reset my window. Okay, and that's how you can get your layers back. All right, move this up so you can see what I'm doing. All right, now I like to work in different modes. A lot of times in perspective, I will right click on perspective, a window pops up, and I will select render because I like to see the shiny things. And then if I'm working on something and I need to see it shaded or perhaps ghosted, so I right click on this top, whatever viewport you want to change, and then you left click or regular click on whatever mode you want it to be in. So I'm going to click on wireframe. These are the 4 modes that I use the most. Wireframe is very practical because you can see everything. Ghosting is practical because you can see it as a solid, but you also see the intersection. And of course, I like to see the render view because I want to see what it's actually going to look like as a piece of jewelry. And if you recall, if we change colors, the default colors on these would change, but we will go over more of that when I discuss the render. Okay, and then down here is solid, and I can't see through it like I can on ghosted. So when I'm working, a lot of times I will right click on the viewport just to make that change. Let's see, artistic. Some of the changes that are available take a little longer to do. There's chalk, there's, I think this was technical, MG shiny, where it's a solid, but it kind of gives a sheen to it. Pen. It's like a pen and ink. Let's see. Ray traced. I don't ever use that. I'm really not sure why you would use that. So some of the things are kind of new. I do use plastic a lot. And okay, let's do ice. Ice is kind of fun. And then once again, if you want all of your viewports to be that, you can just right click. Right click is like pressing enter, and it will activate whatever you did last. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to put that back to render. I'm going to put this back to shaded. I'm going to put this back to ghosted, and we'll do wireframe up here. Now, the reason they have all these different modes is to be able to see accurately what you're doing. And so you will find that you need to make those adjustments. If you are taking a curve and making a solid out of it, but it doesn't look like a solid in wireframe, you're going to be a little bit lost because you won't recognize that it's actually a solid. So using the modes, just like using the layers, are a very powerful tool. Now, there is another way to change your display modes, and that is over here on the left-hand side, typically under your layers. And right here, a little window will pop up when you're in your actual program, and it will tell you what that layer is called. This one on the far left upper is called wireframe. And if you click on, let's just activate this viewport down here. How do you activate a viewport? You just click in the background somewhere. So if you click on that, it will change the active viewport into whatever mode you have clicked on. I clicked on wireframe, shaded, render, ghosted, x-ray, technical, artistic, pen, Arctic. I use this one a lot because it doesn't take as much ink on my printer, and I will print out a job that I have a question for my jeweler, and we'll discuss it so that he can see the shaded part of it. The next one is ray trace, art color. And this one is called, what is that called again? Let's see, back face highlight. Never used that one. Chalk. So this one's kind of fun if you want to do a job and then have it look like a drawing. That's what that's for. GV shadow, and that one's called ice. MG shiny. And then the next row, machine, pastel, plastic, straight render, tech white, counter sketch preview, and then GV alpha. So like I said, some of these I don't use very often. The top 4 in the first row is what I use the most. Let's go back to wireframe. So we were just left clicking on all of those, and it just changed my active viewport. If I want to change all of my viewports, I will right click. And there you go. Okay. I think that that gives you a pretty full understanding of the display modes and how they are used and why they are there. So I want to thank everyone for watching today's video, and you're welcome.